Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond, broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
Have you ever wondered about what happens in a martial arts studio? Well, you start right away by setting goals, building determination, gaining focus, building skills, all while becoming more fit, gaining confidence, and learning self-defense. Buitron Academy is a school where attitude meets aptitude. So give us a call at 956-401-4868. We're back at you in Gloves Off. I'm Professor Buitron. I'm here talking with another brother of mine, Professor Frank Pala. And we're touching base on the issues of self-defense of what we see as saboteurs, and he's in Florida, I'm in Texas. How are we doing, brother? You doing good?
I'm doing very good. I'm glad to be here, brother.
I'm glad you're here. Let's touch base. You came here a while back. And what have you seen for the need of Savate and self-defense as per se? Because you're taking it into a different realm, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
So I've been here for maybe 15 or 16 years right now. And the need of the self-defense is growing and growing and growing. We're not based on the old school self-defense, daddy and granddad used to do this little move here and there. No, he evaluated a lot with a lot of dynamism. So now it's not only we have to touch and twist and do things, we have to strike. We have to create space. We have to use what we got. And as me, my forte come from the savate, the dynamism of the movement around the target and not like across on the floor. Give us a really, really good advantage when it comes to strikes with coordination, hands and foot.
Absolutely, and it reminds me both of us kind of walked the same path. We grew up in Savate. We fought in the ring. We're both professors in Savate. We both use Savate as a vocation for protecting people. Both me here, I did in abroad and here as well, and you're doing that now. We've gone through that a long time ago, and I'm going to tell people, I used to take care of Camporuzzi every Friday for a year and a half when I was over there. That was my job. And when you see that, there was something that Camporuzzi told me. He said, saboteurs today were not the same as saboteurs when we had Savate, when he was growing, saying pre-World War I. Saboteurs were always used as bodyguards. Saboteurs were always used to protect the community. Saboteurs were always used to enhance and teach the younger men what to do, right? A lot of people forget that in World War II, both the Savate faction and the Boxe Française faction were freedom fighters. Each one had their own group. Lafond had it in the Savate, and Camporuzzi had it with Boxe Française. So when you look at that, I see that need, okay? And sure, self-defense has changed a little bit. How do you see it are you getting more women, more men, more kids, more what are you getting?
So my forte, I'm an expert in close combat and engagement when it comes to handling firearms, and edge weapon. So now, because it's growing and growing, the ladies get more comfortable and more accurate because they use the techniques on the punch and not the power. That's the big evolution of the most things. Absolutely. Bodyguard, we use. I was very, very fortunate to start by, the Savate transition to the Boxe Française, have the move, have the dynamism, footwork, and the agility of mixing, leg kicks and power. So now bodyguards, they don't have that. They use dinosaur, which is they cannot move. But what is the primary of the bodyguard? Extract the VIP, and then if you have to mix something. Believe it or not, now for executive protection, we don't use the term of bodyguard because we don't use dinosaur. We use proactive people, right? The
Right.
difference between a bodyguard and an EP is the bodyguard treat the threat as it comes, and the executive protection has the intelligence to make a recon and then extraction A, B, C, and then put the hands on somebody if they have to. Now, the evolution of the woman getting in that crowd, first of all, they make them fit as fuck. Sorry for my language. And two, they make them efficient, really efficient, because
Absolutely.
nobody nobody suspect the woman to put your foot in the leg on the ground, to hit you with her hands, the other one uppercut, hook, another leg kick. They're being growing a lot in the industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what, since here, since this school was founded in 88, um, it changed the dynamics. First, it was a bunch of young guys. For about 20 guys, you get one girl. Then when I was in Dallas, it was 50-50, and now we're back to men the age of 35 to 45 is what's looking for it. And then,
Yeah.
but it's younger with the women. The women are 25 to 35 that are looking for it. Okay. And it's never, Savat's never attracted the teens here in the United States as it has in France. It just doesn't have that. Never had that for 30 plus years. Never seen it. But I've seen the growth of the other ones too. The differences in the scales and how it's been. It's you get a person that wants to learn. They're sure of themselves. I don't know if you get my grift. They're most of them have a profession. Most of them want to take care of themselves. Most of them want to be able to get busy when the time is needed, and the rest of that. Now, how do you see that in Florida? Do you see the same thing?
Well, I got a lot of people. They're doing self defense and box française and self defense based on the fact, like, remember, I'm old school. I like you. I keep my French savate on point. I just think a little bit out of the box to give them a better commercial experience. Based on, I don't use too much savate defense. I use savate combat, savate defensive tactics. More appealing name to approach different public. So the people, men with the age of, you're right, 30, 45, they do it for the health. Because that kind of box give you whatever you want. You cannot lie to me. On 45 minutes, you're going to get your heartbeat to the roof, all the strength you want, the cardio, the conditioning, and the explosivity. So those, they do it for the health.
Absolutely.
Ladies, ladies, they do it because they just understand by the techniques they can outcome the power. And those ladies of 25 years old, there's the by pound. Hear me out. They have the much better power because they use the techniques and not the weight power.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that within Savat, technique is really what matters. You can't be sloppy. It finishes you to the point that you have to be on point. You can't be broken up. You can't just throw it just loosely. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Just because I'm going to throw it out there, it's not.
No,
It's
no,
a
no, no.
Boxe Française, Savat is different than kickboxing. A lot of people think it's the same thing. It is not. It's a total different science, and nothing wrong with kick.
But you know why? Because boxing and kickboxing, they try to create a warrior, and us behind the mechanics, we have the mind, technical tactics, tactical techniques, the science of the ring, and all of that. They don't have that because they focus on mechanics. It's not. There's not all behind that. It got a science. It's a chess game.
Absolutely, it's a chess game. It's a matador against the toro. It's that's what it's all about. And
Yep,
and people forget that. And when you fight, you have to fight with this.
exactly.
You have to understand what it is. You have to start using the best muscle in your brain. I keep telling them the brain, your best muscle in your body is your brain. And you
Exactly.
can have all the heart you have. You can have all the balls you want. Balls is going to get you killed. Heart is going to get you killed. It's going to save your life. You need the other ones as well, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's what is needed in today's side. And so tell me, um, is the concerns, because there's a lot of concerns. There's a lot of concerns with right now here. There's a lot of concerns with stalking. So we're going after the criminal element as what stalking is and how to prepare for that. What are the concerns that you're seeing in your area?
Miami, it's started by the stalking, but it's a mix between the stalking and a sexual assault. It's a lot of mix, but the line in between there's none. Stalking for ladies in Miami, Florida, is gonna handle with a sexual assault. It can be physical, it can be a little bit verbal, but it leads to each other no matter what.
Absolutely.
So I have a code for my ladies. Even if they take the first class with me, the first one will be butterfly doesn't lie. So if you got a butterfly in your stomach for any kind of reason and having these weird vibes, ladies, awareness is done. It's time to go.
Yep,
Time to go.
absolutely.
Let's go. Let's go. Time to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because that's what happened. That's what's happening over here. And that's what you're seeing more of.
Then when we train a little bit, and especially with the ladies, because men got already the ego, but I told them, guys, the ego is gonna get you killed. You think you're gonna box in the street? You don't box in the street. You do what you got to do, and you get the hell out of here because somebody else is gonna crack your skull in the back. There's no fair fight. Remember, no referee, no time, no ropes, no nothing. So when it comes to my ladies, I told them. And I'm a little bit hard. I said, do you want to be the butcher or do you want to be the pig? At some point, you have to make a decision when it comes to your corner, ladies. You cannot run. You got no space to run. So now you need to implement what you know at the gym, what you did on sparring, but you need to element of surprise and explosivity. Violence for violence. Make it count. Get the hell out of the air. Don't go too far. Be the first responder. Call a 911.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't understand that you have to be most fights, 80% of all fights, they last 8 to 9 seconds, not even 10. But those that go beyond 30 seconds, they're going to go to the ground. And it's not that they're going to go to the ground because of grappling, it's because they're going to go to the ground. Somebody's going to come in there, they're going to push you in there, and it's going to become more habit. So you have to take care of business right then and there. And that's what people do not understand, that you have to train. You have to, when you're training, you also have to be conditioning your hands and know that your punch is going to be sufficient enough that when you hit that person, either you're breaking something or you're cutting skin. And when you're kicking, you better make sure that when you're kicking, you're tearing that muscle and you're kicking towards the bone. And when people do not understand that in Savate, our weapons are the shoes. That's what Savate means. So when you're wearing shoes and you kick somebody in the leg, you're going to have to make sure that when your toe hits that familiar artery, you're going to feel the bone. And that's what separates his whole mindset. And once you get that in there, that when you train to strike and when you train to hit, you're training to damage that person and make it quick and out of the way. Enough's enough. And like you said, call 911 right after that.
Totally agree. I got a very sensitive coat, and people they don't like that too much. But I'm the first one to say it. Violence for violence. You want to be violent? I'm gonna show you what violence is. I'm gonna defend myself. Period.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I used to have one, I don't have one right here, but in the back it used to say, bullies wanted for Savate.
Exactly. That's it.
Over. We
Same
can
old.
train. You're gonna respect it one way or another. You're either gonna respect it
For sure.
and say, I want to train, or I'm gonna say, you know what, that's pretty good. That's not for me. You're gonna go. And it's gonna humble
That's
you.
true.
And
That's
that's
true.
what we used to have. But and I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad that you're pushing the art, and we have to make sure that people understand what it's for. It's for the street. It was developed in the street for the
It
street.
was made. It was made for the street.
It
It
was
was
made.
not made for the ring. At the beginning, I don't know if you remember, there was no rules inside that. There's no ring, no area, no referee, no nothing. It's the street.
They used to have two games. They used to call the Ju Haute, the Juba, and people didn't. And the one that explained it to me was Matt Sylvain Silvani, the old man, the one that taught us lutte parisienne. He said back then it was a society gap. The aristocrats did boxe française and the laymen did savate. So Juba was for savate and Ju Haute was boxe française. And a lot of people say, no, it's because you kick high in Ju Haute, no, and you kick by, and no, it was a society. And
Society.
yep, and a lot of people forget that it was split, boxe française and savate for many years. In '78, they came together and they produced the wonderful sport that you and I love and you and I felt in the ring and you and I trained for. And that's a
I don't know
different.
if you remember. I don't know if you remember. They produced Killer because when we did Bercy for the World Championship, I don't know if you remember. You know what? We are the most complete athlete when it comes to hands and foot. Not even the kickboxing, not even the Muay Thai. They don't have our footwork and the way we rumble with the kicks and the coordination leg. And the footwork is very, very typical to our art. That's
Absolutely.
why there's no comparison on any of those. And
Absolutely.
remember something: we have shoes, so
Yeah.
wherever that shoes goes, it goes in. Huh? It's not the toes. The toes broke on the elbow, not the shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people don't, it's not barefooted. That's what, yeah. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. The point of the shoe is going to go right inside.
Inside. Period. You can have the abs if you want. If you go behind the elbow on the liver on the kidney, you go down the box. It doesn't matter. It's not like you're barefoot. It goes in.
Let me tell you this. Let's change the subject a little bit. You're actually a generation behind me, but who was your favorite boxer in the ring in Savate?
Fatimira.
Fatimita was good.
Richard Silla was a beast. Fatimira, I love Fatimira. I love Penacchio. It's very long, very sharp.
To me, Sheila Paturel, my professor.
Paturel.
Paturel, my professor, Paturel and Sheila. And then Penacchio. Penacchio was the one that we wanted to look like and move. After that, I would say Richard Toma.
Yes. Frank May.
For sure. Yeah. Sylvain Postel.
Postel exceptional. But it was already a conversion of the style. He was already going through middle length with a kick. It tried to thinking out of the box. It was a little bit different. Now we're going too much up. For me.
Yeah. But to me, this art, to me, I say this, the ones that designed Boxe Française Savate, I would say it was Bob Alex and Hervé Bollandé. That's it.
That's it. Bob Alex. That's it.
And after that, everybody else gave them. But who, to me, I'm gonna tell you, who is the best professor in the ring and all the things to you? The one that's produced more champions.
I was about to say Silla because he was in the ring, but I'm going to say Paturel.
Actually, the one that produced more champions is Sot Massage.
Really?
Yeah, over 700.
Wow.
And that's something that, over 700. And Sila and Paturel, of course, but Sila produced French champions because he got all of us once we were in INSEP. He already formed.
Yeah.
How can I say? He took somebody that I already knew and made them better.
Yeah. He got a fish tank already.
Yeah. So everybody was already there and made them better. But somebody that didn't have anything and pick them up.
Yeah.
I tell you who was good too, who was very, very good was Shoref, Camille.
Oh, yes.
Camille
Yes.
was phenomenal, yeah.
Zonkifo.
Yeah, something. My brother. I tell you a story. Before we were in INSEP one time and I came in and I put my mouthpiece there and went to go drink water. Came back, where's my mouthpiece, you know? And Sheila goes, hey! And then Sankifo.
Zonkifo is a puncher. Zonkifo, that one got a punch.
But the one that had a good punch and he would have done X in boxing was Tony Moreno.
Yeah, it stopped too early.
Tony Moreno was good. Then after that age group, that age when you came in was probably when I just stopped following, you know?
Yeah.
Remember, you had, what's his name was part of you? Tahidi. I'm looking for his uniform over there. Tahibi. He was with you, Taib. He was in INSEP right after, what's his name? The one that got killed in
Tayeb.
Well,
Tayeb.
he fought here in Laredo, and he was playing around with my blue glove in the ring. Okay, my blue glove gives him a jab right here. Went to sleep.
Oh, sit down.
Yeah, he sat him down, and I remember Gilles Ledwigo gets all nervous. You know, but it had never happened before. You know, and I said, well, okay, you know, that American that knocked somebody out over there. Now his student knocked somebody out over here. And we started laughing. And he said, no, he's not French. He's from Morocco.
It didn't work that well, huh? Tayeb.
But it's good memories. I'm trying to remember his name. He came in when I was leaving in 94 was when I last fought, and he was from Reunion. He had just came in, and then he got killed in Reunion. Forget his name.
He gets decapitated.
Yeah, what's his name?
That's the two brothers.
The father and then the two brothers. No, not the two brothers. You're talking about Eddie and Fred Begg. No, not them.
No.
Johnny Catherine.
Johnny Catherine.
To me,
Johnny Catherine, he was really good. He come from the street, huh? He beat himself. Gangster, okay, but real.
Johnny Catherine.
Hard. Yeah. Hard, really hard.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but
strategy. But that's what happens, you know. The streets don't love anybody. It's going to take you down. So,
for sure.
And unfortunately, and it's good for us, we don't have that type of, even in France, you don't have that type of collection that you have in boxing around the world. There are a lot of kids come up from the streets, going up and become great champions. In boxe française, you have some, but you don't have as much. I don't think.
But the society created that too, huh?
Yeah.
It's they I don't know why, for any reason, they didn't make the boxe française and the savate appealing to a young crowd. I don't know why. Because the power of that box is really, really intense. I don't know why. It's about the media, I guess. But you know.
And you see, I don't know. I've tried to figure it out. Number one, I think it's a uniform. And I don't think a lot of people want to wear that. A lot of people aren't in shape, only athletes. So it's actually a fighter's uniform. After a while, everybody's wearing shorts or what have you. So it's something that you have to have with a uniform for people to be in a uniformly accepted. Boxing has a uniform shorts, and those are fighters' gears. But how can I say? I think it wanted to become too much like box angles,
I agree.
and now that's where it's moving, and it's moving in that direction. But it's still
Yeah.
a beautiful sport, and it's a great sport. It's one that both of us love and want to excel in it. And I'm glad that you're continuing that tradition. And
I continue because for what I do on executive protection with politician, dignitary, CEO, that's the most effective things like on distance a bodyguard can have. And
absolutely,
even everybody can say whatever they want against one or two, and get the job done. That got nothing to do with boxing one, boxing the other one. No, chasser, fouetter, revers, boom, 1, 2. The coordination is perfect. So I keep pushing and I keep pushing because it's still efficient, and we have shoes, so it works really really good.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, brother, I want to thank you for your time. And once again, we do have to see each other soon,
Yes,
and
sir.
we need to get together. Um, this June, first weekend of June, I think it's the third, fourth, fifth. We're going to have the 33rd Passage de Grat, annual Passage de Grat. We're going to bring old Richard Sila
Okay.
down and try to get everybody going in there. If you or your crew want to come on over, you're more than welcome.
I'm gonna try to pass by, even if I can come with my wife. I will try to join you guys. My pleasure. And thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate it.
We'll continue and let's keep it moving forward, man. All right, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.